It's the real news. I'm Aaron Mate. A corruption scandal in Haiti has ignited massive protest and thrown the Haitian government into crisis. Tens of thousands marched to nearly all of Haiti's major cities in a day of national action earlier this month. At least two people were killed and 11 wounded as police opened fire on protesters, some of whom threw rocks. At issue is the misuse of nearly $2 billion from a fund that was supposed to help rebuild Haiti after the 2010 earthquake. The Petrocaribe program is sponsored by Venezuela and gives Haiti discounted oil at a low rate, freeing up spending on social programs for the Haitian people. But the fund has been plagued by corruption. This week, Haitian President Jovenel Moise replaced two top officials and vowed to support an independent investigation. But his potential ties to the scandal himself could make him the next casualty as a new anti-austerity and anti-corruption movement gathers more support across Haiti. Joining me is Jake Johnston, research associate at the Center for Economic Policy Research, lead author of CEPR's Haiti Relief and Reconstruction Watch blog. Welcome, Jake. For people who aren't familiar with what's happening in Haiti, explain what we recently saw with this day of action and the context in which it takes place, coming just a few months after massive anti-austerity protests in July.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks for having me. So, you had October 17th was this day of action, and you saw tens, hundreds of thousands of people take the streets from the capital Port-au-Prince to provincial cities across the country. And while these groups came from diverse backgrounds with different sort of political affiliations and interests, there is one clear motive and one clear sort of rallying cry, and that was, where did the money go? And again, as you mentioned, this is predominantly focused around $1.8 billion that was spent through the Petrocaribe program. Now, the sort of roots of this movement, of these inquiries go back years, of course, but the paradigm really shifted just a few months ago. As a Haitian writer and filmmaker, Gilbert Mirambou sent a sort of innocuous tweet with himself blindfolded with a sign held up saying, "Where is the Petrocaribe money?" And sort of that just spiraled out of control and sort of launched this social media movement and campaign using hashtags and trying to mobilize the citizenry. And we've seen it really tap into this reservoir of frustration in Haiti and really sort of galvanize this movement. And it went from, there's always been questions around how the money was spent, but you really saw the social media campaign really sort of change the paradigm and then show up on the streets on October 17th.
How was the money misused? I know that it's very opaque right now, but there is an indication that there was fake companies set up. Where did the money go to? Is there any sense of who right now has been is most tainted by this scandal?
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, I think, a lot of these details, is the reason why people are asking for an investigation is because there's been so little accounting. I think it sort of makes sense to start with what Petrocaribe is and how it's different from traditional foreign aid. And so again, after the earthquake, you had this outpouring of support from all across the world, billions and billions of dollars pledged to Haiti's reconstruction. Traditional donors almost entirely bypassed Haitian government, Haitian civil society, Haitian private sector. Less than 1% of the money actually went to any of those entities. Petrocaribe is a little bit differently. So it functions a little bit differently in that the money actually goes to the government. So the government's able to sort of undertake infrastructure projects, social programs, et cetera, but actually through the government. This is, over the long term, clearly what's needed. We've seen foreign aid fail time and time again in Haiti. And yet, without the sort of oversight, without the accountability that comes with that, we've seen this sort of degenerate and that money wasted. Now, the information we do have about actually where it went largely comes from a Senate investigation that was produced at the end of last year. Now, that identified a number of problems: overbilling on contracts, sort of projects that were started, stopped, reallocated money, fake companies that didn't actually comply with the work, a sort of a host of financial irregularities that sort of, while not evidence of anything, certainly indicates an extreme amount of wrongdoing or malfeasance or certainly waste. And again, that's what needs to actually be investigated, and that's what people are in the streets asking for.
It's interesting what you say there about the unique nature of this program in terms of usually aid to Haiti bypasses the Haitian people, Haitian government, and goes towards set up foreign organizations, Western ones that are operating there. And certainly those have had their share of scandals and corruption as well. So it's not just the Haitian government that is tainted by corruption in Haiti. But what do you think this current scandal means for the future of the Haitian government itself, elected with a very low turnout in 2016. Do you think that this will sweep them up as well?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. And the point you make about the election, I think, ties into this very well. And so, as you said, there's about 20% participation in that last election in 2016, which saw President Jovenel Moise come to power. Now, when you have a situation like that, it's clear that the Haitian people have largely given up on their government, given up on the electoral process as a means to address their daily needs. And of course, these needs are great. And so the economy has actually been doing quite poorly recently. Per capita GDP is down. Inflation is in the double digits. The cost of living continues to increase. So you have coupled and sort of providing the context to all of this, a really dire economic situation and a government that is not responsive to the needs of the people. And again, I think what's really interesting about this current environment is that because of these issues, you see this protest movement has sort of penetrated a strata of the socioeconomic society in Haiti far higher than it usually does. And I think that's what really has the Haitian government scared, is that people who have traditionally been their allies, members of the private sector, are starting to sort of turn on this government. And again, what that means for the future of the government, I think you have to see how this government responds to the grievances of the people, and if they begin to respond in a real way. We saw some recent announcements from the government, the firing of two of his close associates, as well as the prime minister announced a formation of a commission to actually begin to investigate this. But these have been largely discarded by civil society actors and leaders of the protest movement as sort of superficial actions. And so I think we sort of are all waiting to see, what sort of real action the Haitian government can take. And certainly if it doesn't, and even if it does, I think you can continue to see this building, budding social movement and citizen movement that'll continue to apply pressure.
We'll leave it there. Jake Johnson, Research Associate of the Center for Economic Policy Research, lead author of CEPR's Haiti Relief and Reconstruction Watch blog. Jake, thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you for joining us on The Real News.